Hello everyone, and welcome back to Octopath Traveler. So we'll try this again. This is my second attempt. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. I'm only going to be uploading the successful attempt, which might be this one, might not be. This is the final secret boss in the game, and it is fairly rough. I think the most notable thing is that whenever you want to reattempt it, you have to fight those 8 bosses I fought in the last episodes all over again. There's no save points or anything like that in between. So I have no idea who designed that, but boy oh boy, not fun. Right, we want Tressa, Ophelia, and Harnit in the first party, and the second party is then Primrose, Ulbrich, Therion, and Cyrus. Now, having Ulbrich at low HP is kind of a risky strategy, which might pay off. We're gonna have to see if it works out. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to play around a bit. No, this is fine. Let's go. Incidentally, this is still not voice acted. I don't know why. I mean, if you have voice actors, and they clearly did, and they have some lines voice acted, but pay them the extra hour to voice act your final climactic encounter with the big, bad, super evil god thing. Anyway, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. As always, feel free to pause this if you want to read the dialogue. Aside from that, there's not really much going on.
I will not lose to you. I'll not be defeated.
Now, the way this fight works is there's a soul. In this case, there's only one, but as the fight progresses, the boss summons up to 3. And while that soul is active, the boss is immune to damage, as you can see. So we have to kill the soul first. Right, we want to summon Eliza. Guillotine's not that relevant. What matters is that transfer rune, that's fine.
Feel the power.
Eliza can cast a buff that increases elemental attack. And some other stuff as well, maybe, but the important thing is it increases elemental attack for the whole party. Let's elemental break the eye. Actually, no, I don't think that's going to do anything, right? Yeah. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We want purifying dust, essence of pomegranate. Give everyone 2 BP. And then we get the patience here. So the main damage in this phase is going to come from light rune, so that's what we're going to use. Ow. Well, that sucks. It's an immediate shit start. Well, let's bring her back. That's fine. Hanit's still alive. So her job is to summon the Devourer of Dreams, which at full boost insta-hits all non-bosses, basically.
Bring it on.
And at this point, I can attack the boss.
Let's get down to work.
Which, yeah, Elfin will break. Okay, now we get a bunch of patience. So, elemental break.
Elemental break. I'll not be defeated.
Ophelia will summon Eliza again.
All right.
And Elfin will now concoct Purifying Dust with the Essence of Grape to just give
Try
a full
this.
party heal. Okay, we have somewhat recovered. Unfortunately, Ophelia doesn't have the
I see through your moves.
guillotine again. Shame. It's random which ability Eliza will use. So ideally, you'd want her to use the thing where she just buffs up our elemental attack, but she didn't so far.
Here goes nothing.
Okay, let's get the pomegranate going. And I do want to reapply the light rune. So Ophelia also has it. It's a shame that she died, but it's just it was just a little unfortunate. There wasn't really much I could do there.
It's my turn now.
And Patience, I think you're best with your spear. Okay, now the boss stops being broken and summons a bunch of these souls.
My turn now.
Hanet is fine, so you can just... there's not really much you can do. Wondering if I want to defend, but there's not much point doing that either. Let's just... Sure, take aim again.
I see through your moves.
Come on. Ah, guillotine again.
Letting my arrow fly and holding back nothing.
Okay, summon another Devourer of Dreams. Oh wow, it didn't hit the bottom soul for some reason? That's weird. Fair enough, we're gonna have to kill that manually then.
All right.
I'm wondering what best to do on him. He's not gonna do much damage to it, but... yeah, fair enough, might as
Let
well.
the thunder roll.
Well then,
Okay.
What next?
Oh, and I just did a normal attack. Right, that's fine. We'll destroy the soul.
let's do this.
And you can just do a normal attack.
Bring it on.
Elfin is then going to break it with a double tomahawk. His Bright Pursuit doesn't do much damage, but that's fine.
I'll do my best.
And another normal attack, which does good damage. Still, I'm getting really unlucky with the summon abilities from Ophelia there. I don't really need the heal right now. Don't need any SP either. Anything you can really do? BP is still fine, but yeah, might as well just quickly
Try this.
restore the BP of everyone, except Ophelia, who's already full.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
Okay,
Coming.
I think I want an elemental break.
Elemental break.
Let's
Just
do
for that
this.
additional debuff. Just a normal attack.
I'll not be
You
defeated.
can summon Eliza again. There we go, hearty encouragement. That's what I was
Bring it
looking
on.
for and had hoped to get a lot more of earlier. We're still fine on everything else. Maybe... yeah, we'll just do the same concoct again. Actually, no.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll use Dota's Charity,
Lend us your aid.
so that his items will now affect the entire party. And Patience, just do an attack, I guess. His damage is not relevant really, but no, might as well. Okay, we get the souls back.
Well then.
You're still there. Note that the boss is not shielded at the moment, so I can get the shields down and do damage to it, even though the souls are still alive. I still want them to die because they're still nasty, but yeah, for the moment, don't need to worry too much about it. But I can just break the boss. Okay.
Let's do this.
Though to be fair, this phase of the fight isn't really the one I'm too worried about. The first one is reasonably doable. And damage we're doing is pretty nice. Right, now we want to... oh, you can't boost? Oh, well, that's a bit unfortunate. Fine, use the... oh yeah, I attacked with... I made a mistake there.
This will help us.
Just gonna do something else. You don't get the necessary patience, damn it. Okay, we still need to kill the souls, but... no.
Let's do this.
Right, there's not really anything I need to do here, but, you know,
The winds of fortune are howling.
might as well hit these souls. I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. What I meant to do was on him. I'm just gonna show it. Just might as well. Chuck a revitalizing jam,
Try this.
which restores everyone to full, and that would have also given Harnett the BP to summon. I just forgot to do it, so that was completely my fault. But it really doesn't matter that much. Sure, whatever.
Here I go. Not bad.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
Okay, Beast Lore, Summon Beast, Devourer of Dreams. And there we go.
The
Just
hunt
straight up
ends.
insta-kill, I guess. Now, as I said, this is the part of the fight that's fairly stable, right? You have good damage output with the Devourer of Dreams, the souls aren't much of an issue, it's all fine. Second phase, as I said, I've only tried it once before, but it did not go very well. I may need to possibly level up the party a bit more or something. I'd like to avoid it, but it's possible I have to.
I am ready.
So the problem is I need to buff up Ulrich a lot, and he's only got 1 HP, which is intentional. It buffs his damage, he has a skill where he does more damage the lower his HP is. But if he gets hit by anything and dies, basically it's game over. So I need to get quite lucky. But we want to increase his crit rate.
Shooting comets, lead us on our way.
Okay, that's fine. Just augmenting damage. Not a problem.
I see through your defenses.
That thing could possibly survive, so we want to debuff that. Augmentation, also fine.
An interesting dilemma.
Right, so we want to do... donate BP on Ulbrich.
I'm counting on you.
And if he dies now, then that's fine. That's also fine. Okay. Now he fully boosts. We will use his War Master skill, Winhild's Battle Cry.
Windhild fights with us.
And that immediately destroys his entire, like the blade and all of the little guys, which means the boss should become vulnerable. Apparently didn't though? We're still alive. Right, that's weird. Oh no, I think when his turn comes he will become vulnerable. Maybe that's what happens. Because I destroyed the extremities, right? Yeah, okay. Right, second turn. Your job is just to give Ulbrich his SP back, so he can use that skill again.
Out of my way.
He has enough SP to do it, so that's okay. We now want to do...
Let's do this.
I'm wondering if something is wrong here, because I do want to armor corrosive the guy, but he's still immune to everything. Which is not good. Right, can you actually do anything, Cyrus? Not really, no. Ulbrich can do his thing. It's a little unfortunate. And if we analyze the thing, you see 180,000 HP. It's unlikely that Ulbrich will do enough damage, but we're gonna have to try it out. We might be good. We're good. Okay, we did it. Second attempt only, so I don't know what the success chance of this strategy is. As you saw, when Ulbrich didn't get hit in the first turn, the rest was basically a cakewalk, even though the boss didn't even get affected by my armor corrosive, which was supposed to decrease his physical defense even more. But at least at level 75, that basically seems irrelevant. I just don't know what the odds are that Ulbrich survives the first turn. I think mostly the little appendages will just cast buffs for the first turn. Only one of them will do something that does damage. But if that's an AoE that hits the entire party, then yeah, you can just try over. Which means you need to kill all those 8 bosses before again, which is a bit annoying. Anyway. We did it. We killed the fallen god Galdera.
Huh?
Oh, look, it's his father. He can meet them again in the afterlife. Everything you did was fine. You should do that again if you miss them. And the weird thing is, as a reward for this quest, you actually get a spurning ribbon, which means you have no more enemy encounters. The problem is that it's the end of the game. There's nothing left to do, really. So I guess a few words on closing. I really like when games have these optional enemies that are really tough to defeat and take a lot of planning and foresight and leveling and grinding gear and getting the best stuff in the game to be able to beat that boss. And I guess as a game developer, you don't really know what to give as a reward for this, because someone who played the game that much, for them the only reward that they would be interested in is more gameplay. Because to beat that boss, they already got maybe not quite the best gear in the game, but close to it, right? They got some really good stuff. Otherwise they couldn't have defeated the boss. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess a good reward would be some sort of thing that changes the nature of a second playthrough, kind of. That would be, I don't know, ideal. Maybe this is the way you unlock New Game Plus. Or, you know, this enables you to start a new game and, I don't know, make it so you can have every class more than once in your party. Stuff like that. Just something that changes up gameplay, because obviously at this point the only reward that a player would still find meaning in is gameplay. I mean, I can see it sort of, it's difficult. So it's a fine reward. I'm not trying to be complainy here about that aspect of the game. It's cool that they put this in. I think they could have done a slightly better job of leading you towards it. Because what happens is you do those side stories, if you want to do them. And throughout the character's main stories, it was only ever sort of set up that this Gate of Finis existed and the Dragonstones are the keys to it and all that stuff. And like apparently, according to some research I did on the wiki, the Red Eye thing that you fight as Harnit as the final boss is some guy who was corrupted by this gate. We saw him, his dialogue entries and stuff. The kid's father, I think. Like he resisted and became this monster, which was eventually Red Eye. But yeah, this Harnit story itself never really mentioned that, unless I missed it. But I don't think I did. And I would have preferred if they kind of tied the last chapters of the stories a little bit more together. Just make it slightly more clear that there's something bigger going on, that you haven't just done 3 completely distinct stories and that's it. There's some overhanging threat, something looming in the background. Which was always somewhat hinted at, but not really quite properly done, I think. Can't be helped, but I would have preferred that. So yeah, I guess some closing words on the game itself. I really enjoy the graphics of the game. Sometimes it looks a bit wonky, but I think overall it works. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes it seems like they have sprites of different resolutions in the same scene. For example, you can see the fire is pretty high res, whereas the trees are really pixelated, stuff like that. But I think it works. I think the graphics look fine. The gameplay is actually really fun. There's some minor things, like all throughout the game they were spamming save points all over the place. And then before the final boss, you have to fight 8 bosses before that, and you can't save in between. So that's a bit strange. I mean, maybe make it so that it's not a save point you can go back to, but make it so that you can like retry that fight straight away. So if you fail, you don't have to try those 8 bosses again. You can just say, okay, hit retry. And if you don't want to do that, you can go back to the main menu and load your most previous save still to be able to go back and level up and stuff. But that was just kind of strange, because mostly throughout the game you had save points everywhere. And right before every single boss fight, there was a save point 10 feet away or something like that, very, very close by. Which is just bizarre not doing it here. But, you know, it's fine. it's just the way they decided to do it. Yeah, the story itself was pretty meh for the most part. Some aspects were fine, but most of the writing is just bad. And the way they told the story was also quite bad for the most part. But, look through the rest of my videos, I complain about it plenty. For me, as someone who wants to let's play the game, the voice acting thing is probably what annoyed me the most, moment to moment. I can live through the fairly badly anime stories, but... oh, my characters are blinking in unison. That's funny. Can I get... Yeah. It's funny. But yeah, having a cutscene and then having 3 lines of dialogue voice acted, and then stopping for another few lines, and then starting again, makes it really annoying for me to do commentary. Because if it was always text-based, I would know, okay, I can talk over this if I feel like it. I can comment on what's being said. If it was always voice-acted, then I know, okay, it's a cutscene, I have to be quiet. And then we'll go and, talk outside of cutscenes. But going back and forth was just really annoying. And skipping cutscenes is also something that they have not implemented well at all. So you haven't seen it because I haven't skipped cutscenes on video. Maybe 1 or 2, but I don't think I did. But yeah, you have a long cutscene, but because they sort of cut them into cutscenes where it's dialogue, cutscenes where it's walking, sometimes you have to skip cutscene 3 or 4 times directly in a row to skip something that's basically a single cutscene. So yeah, that's pretty annoying. But if you're someone who's just interested in the gameplay of an RPG like this, then I can definitely recommend it. It has a lot of tactical depth. I would have actually preferred if the final boss had been even harder, but had a save point right in front of it. Now, for me personally, I tend to check strategy guides quite quickly. As you saw during this fight, I checked strategy. I had a strategy guide. Not quite, do this, like level this character up to 80 and equip the following items, but it was fairly concise about, okay, you wanna make sure to use this summon to kill the souls and all that stuff. It was pretty detailed. I get more enjoyment out of a fight that way, but that's just me. But I think for people who like to play with strategy, making it even meatier might have been interesting. Maybe not so much in terms of just a pure level and gear check, but, having to juggle even more so with conditions. And you can do the first phase without the Devourer of Dreams summon, but that just makes it more interesting. So maybe make those guys immune to that summon. Stuff like that. But this is it was fine. It was a good fight. And yeah, generally speaking, the boss fights are good. The gameplay is fine. The leveling mechanics and the farming and all that stuff were good fun. So on a gameplay front, there's really not much to complain about. Big picture-wise, sure, tiny details were a bit weird, but fine. Story-wise, it was just garbage, but what can you do? I don't really care that much about the story, to be honest. Just ignored most of it. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to keep you here for too long. That was the end of this Let's Play. There's not going to be any more videos unless maybe if there's DLC or something. I don't think there currently is, but you never know. Maybe they'll make some. I doubt it, but again, you never know. And yeah, I don't know if I see a fun challenge run or something, but generally those don't go on YouTube for the most part. So yeah, thanks everyone who stuck around until the end of it. I'm looking forward to reading some comments, and yeah, if you found this enjoyable, there are some other video series on my channel. If for some reason you found my voice appealing, then feel free to check those out. Otherwise, we're gonna part ways. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.